Getting cost of living adjustments throughout your retirement is critical so that your income actually keeps up with inflation over time. If prices keep cranking up and your income stays flat, that is a painful retirement really quickly. So today we're going to talk about how the cost of living adjustments work for your pension when you get them and how much they will be so that you can make sure your income actually goes up as prices do throughout your entire retirement. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Dallin Hawes, a financial planner who serves feds every day, and I love it. But let's talk about how this works. Long story short, as a federal employee, you start getting cost of living adjustments at 62. Even if you retire before that, you get them at 62. Now, there's one exception to that, and that is if you're a special provision federal employee, so law enforcement, air traffic controller, you know who you are, firefighter, you actually, as long as you qualify for a full special provision retirement, you will actually get cost of living adjustments immediately, which is fantastic. But if you're just a traditional FERS employee, you have to wait till 62. So what that means is if you retire, let's say at 57, that's 5 years between 57 and 62 that you are not getting cost of living adjustments. So if your pension is $3,000 a month, it's going to stay $3,000 a month until 62. After that point, it start creeping up with the cost of living adjustments. So that is when you will get it. Now, the next question is, okay, well, that's when I'm going to get it, but how much is it going to be when I actually do get it? How does it work? Long story short, there's a joke that runs around. We call it Diet Cola, or COLA stands, of course, for cost of living adjustments. We call it Diet Cola because your COLAs don't match inflation perfectly. They lag just a tad. Let me explain how. Long story short, if prices go up by 2% or less, your pension will actually match inflation perfectly, which is great. So if inflation is 2%, then your pension would go up by 2%, which is great. Okay, it matches it perfectly. However, the moment inflation is above 2%, your pension starts to lag inflation just a tad. So if inflation is between 2 and 3%, you will get 2%. So if inflation is 2.5%, you'll get 2. If it's 2.8%, you will get 2. And if inflation is 3% or higher, prices go up by 3% or higher in a given year, then you will get whatever inflation is minus 1%. So if inflation is 5, you get 4. If inflation is 10, you get 9. So again, as a federal employee, you want to hope, and as a person, you want to hope that inflation stays really low, that it stays under the 2% mark. Because if it stays under the 2% mark, then you keep up with inflation perfectly. The moment it starts creeping over, then you lag just a tad. Now, it's not a huge lag, but it is somewhat of a lag as inflation goes higher. So the most important thing you can do to be okay with your pension not following inflation exactly is just to have some wiggle room, right? If your budget is super, super tight where you got no extra, that's going to be painful. And if anything changes, whether tax rates go up or inflation is high, it's going to be painful over time. So you want to make sure you've got wiggle room. Say, look, yeah, we've got some margin in our retirement plan. Say, if we don't like inflation going up, we don't like taxes going up, but we are prepared if that happens. So that's how those work. I hope that's helpful. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next video.